was the one thing that stood out most for you following that game?
Robert Griffin III has to protect himself. I mean, this is something that we've seen time and time again, and he's going to get hurt. I mean, last night he couldn't slide to save his life, and when he did slide, he actually put himself in some awkward positions where he was getting some bad hits that could easily turn into concussions down in the regular season. And he's running down the sideline, getting hit by Joe Hayden. I mean, it just doesn't seem to protect his body at all. His just mind is not wired that way. And at this point, you have to wonder, will he ever learn how to slide? I mean, I just don't know if he will. So that for me was a big takeaway. And his footwork still doesn't seem to be where it needs to be. And that goes for sliding and also in passing. I mean, there's still a lot of work in progress with RG3.
As Jason Reed wrote in his column today, guys, 6 for 8, 112 yards. The stats don't tell everything. 24 yards rushing. Obviously, he didn't get down. He had that terrible interception. Brandon, does he have an excuse for not knowing how to slide at this point? What is it? Is it just he's just not wired that way?
I think he's still got in his mind that he's trying to prove I'm 100% back. So watch me take this hit and then bounce back up. So he should know how to slide at this point.
Took 3 hits on that shot on the sideline.
Right. Yeah. But I think, it goes again back to the all-in last year where he wanted to show people, okay, I still have the speed, I still have the durability. And even though you could say last year was a lost year, I think it goes back again to this year where I have to show these people that I'm ready, that I'm built for this. So does it excuse him not sliding? No, but he's not going to do it anyway if he knew how to, I don't think, because he has to prove something there.
Over there on the sideline, he could have just stepped out of bounds. It could have been another way. Didn't have to slide. Mike, what do you think?
Painful. It was painful to watch. It was, and I still think this goes back to almost growing up in a military household. You soldier on. You never give any quarter. Your whole DNA is telling you, I don't run out of bounds. That's not what Griffins do. And I think that he really does have to cleanse himself of those thoughts. He really has to believe that if he's going to play 10, 15 years in this league, he's going to have to learn how to slide. Frankly, I think the best defense for this guy right now, or the best prescription, people forget 2 years ago he bailed out the offense. He bailed out the offense, and he also bailed out the defense because he was so spectacular. They could win games 35-30. Jim Haslett's defense looked pretty good last night. If that defense can not give up 30 points a game like they did a year ago, if they can give up 18 or 20 and they can win some games 23-20, and Robert Griffin can get himself acclimated to Jay Gruden's offense a little better, I'm not as worried as some people are in this town. The one thing I am worried about, same thing Neil, Brandon are, RG3's health. It's got to be the primary concern if anybody saw that game.
Positives from RG3's performance, Neil. You had the deep throw to Roberts, which was a little bit underthrown, but he still showed that he had the accuracy good enough to complete the deep ball. And his physicality, his health looks like he's healthy enough to run around people still.
Yeah, I mean, he looked good connecting with the wide receivers, which is something that I was looking forward to in this game. I mean, he shows that he shows that he can move the offense down the field, right? I mean, he's connecting on long balls. He had some short passes that he was connecting with. So all that stuff is good. But it really does come undone when he takes off. And it like Mike was saying, he could very well be the difference maker for this team. But if he gets a bad hit and he's out for a game, 2 games, 6 games, he's not going to be able to do anything, and they're going to have a big problem.
You know who was smiling last night? Kyle Shanahan. Because deep down he was thinking, oh, you all thought it was me and my offense that was getting him in trouble. No. It was him and his instincts and the things that he just naturally does that he's got to stop doing.
That's got to be Jay Gruden's biggest challenge after game 2 is sort of hammering it home. Whether or not he can is another question, but getting him to step out of bounds, to sacrifice the 3 or 4 extra yards to stay healthy. We'll see how that goes.